Another, go ahead.
I have a question regarding this values, because it's come into my introspection. So I'm just throwing it out in the class that sometimes we come across some people, even family member, that insults you or says rude words. Is it better to forget and forgive, or staying away from them? Now, when I thought about it, then I thought, okay, if we stay away from that person, I could also take it as a teaching that why he felt that way or why he said it. But there will be some, distance. And if I forget very easily, does that mean that inside me, I don't want to rid of him or her? Because sometimes, to keep a friendship or to keep a social environment healthy, we compromise. So I just thought I couldn't come up with a answer which satisfies me, because it has both sides,
Right. Okay. So that's a good question. So what happens, let's say in a family itself, the person A can be rude to person B. Okay, let's say the husband is rude to the wife. Okay. Now, the different types of responses are possible. Suppose there are children growing up in the family. What happens? The children are going to imbibe the values of the parents. Okay. What will happen in such families? The children will repeat exactly the same mistakes of the parents. The son will end up becoming abusing, he will become an abuser. He will abuse his wife, he will abuse his children also. I see it all the time. I see this happen. Because the child doesn't know anything better. Child is being told indirectly, it's all right to be abused. Oh, males are strong only if they scold women. Something like that. The child will get an idea. Oh, that's what it means to be a father. Now, a smart lady will say, you know what, my children are going to get spoiled at this rate. I have to find a way to stop this. So what she will do? She might say, you are going to stop doing this, my dear friend. Let's talk in private. But in the presence of children, we better learn to behave properly. Something like that. She has to be creative. A creative person will say, I can't make my children suffer. I am suffering is a different thing, but at least children should be protected. So she will be assertive in front of children. She will say, you have to apologize for what you just said. Who are you to ask me to apologize? If I did this to you, I would apologize. If you did this to me, you have to apologize. Something like that. She has to make this show. Only then the children will learn. What will they learn? Oh, it's not right to do this. Okay, that's one type of response. Just an example. It depends on the context, right?
I'm more talking about friends and family, because here we are saying Vivikta Desha.
So different contexts will be the different contexts where there is no such children, etc. And somebody is still rude, right?
In society.
in society, right? Yeah. So then we have the option of staying away from the person. If there is such an option available, then better to stay away, because it's negativity. It is just unwanted negativity. When the mind is supposed to focus on so many different things here, why invite negativity? Why go to a place where there is negativity? Because that means sometimes we may have to, like they do in Facebook, unfriend. Unfriend. There is something called friend, and then there's unfriend also. Nice. Facebook is very interesting. I borrow some ideas from Facebook. We all should borrow some ideas from Facebook. And so sometimes we have to unfriend also. Unfriend, nothing wrong, because that's how it is. And because we are talking about this is the only life we have. There's no other life. Any other life comes, let it come later. We'll deal with it. But this life is all I know. And the clock is ticking. And so if I can afford to just say walk away from this, I'll walk away. If I can do that, that's the best thing to do. Forgive, forget, etc. It depends again on context. Again on context. If the person acknowledges that, okay, I've been rude with you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Okay, forgiven, because now he's back on track now, and that's it. Past history is over. I don't want to dwell over the past. He doesn't want to. He's asking my permission so that we can forget and move on. I said, okay, no problem. That's not a problem at all. Unless there is a lot of pain I have because of that person's rudeness, then that pain has to be processed somehow. It may be hard for me to forgive. All these problems are there. We can't simply forgive people. Forgiveness requires a lot of strength, inner strength. Okay? To say that, okay, that requires strength. Anyway, so it all is based on context and other. That's all I'm saying. We'll do what is appropriate. If we can forgive and forget, it's fine. But I may forgive, but again, next day he comes back and does the same. Then what is the value of this forgiveness and forget? You can't forget. He will not allow you to forget. Where is the question of forgetting? It's not possible. Therefore, forgive and
But is it also because we cannot say, say there are like 20 people goes in same place, and then just for these two people, the whole group might be affected. So that way, is it that I don't have that strength to stay away from everything? So that's why I'm forgetting and forgiving.
correct. That's also possible.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's so, because someone asked me, and like, for life of me, I just couldn't give the right. It's just, why?
So if it happens often, I will ask the question to the rest of the people. Wait a minute, is this worth going? Is this gathering worth it for any of you? It's not worth it for me, because he's insulting everybody. And me insulting, you are also getting insulted. Why should we all go? I will challenge everybody. Is this really useful to you? Make everybody think about this problem first. And so turn it around and let people think over it. It's not an individual decision. It may be a collective decision to go or not to go. Or somebody might say, I think we should call him off. I think we should call out the problem. Guys, this is not appropriate.
But in practical, it doesn't happen, because one person will say one thing, another person will say another thing. So I don't know. I still go with the fact that, okay, that is my kind of, that stay away.
Staying away.
Because
Kumar, I beg to disagree with the stay away part.
okay.
Depends upon the person, his motivation, his intentions, and the person is extremely good person due to some circumstances. He comes out and tells, and something irrational thing. At the time, when you analyze and if he is receptive, try to show his inappropriateness or behavior and try to educate him if he is in the mood of learning, and then continue the dialogue. If he keeps on repeating, it's always be upfront. I don't think we should be continuing our relationship, or then we need to stay away. At least we should give the opportunity for the person to rectify. Everybody deserves one chance.
So it's based on context, obviously, or rather, only you can decide what is the right thing. And there's no one answer for this question. It all depends on context. What are you getting out of this gathering, and things like that. So it's based on context. Yeah.
But does that have something to do with that? Because, it's also my problem that I am the one who, cannot give up that area, the Sangha.
Yes. Yeah.
Because this thing, suddenly tricked me, this Vivikta Desha.
Yes. So correct. That Sangha is needed. I need the Sangha. And
That's what I'm
Sangha,
saying.
therefore, I'm willing to put up with any kind of nonsense.
That's what happens in reality. I just thought to bring it up.
Yes.
We should all be very careful. It's not me. I'm not talking about myself here.
Right.
And because this is so important.
Yes, we have to do. Sometimes we do that, right? See, for example, job. Let's say there's a job. People are working. Work environment can be good, or it can be, the boss can be abusive. Boss is yelling stuff and throwing stuff at people. Totally uncalled for. Now, what do? Here's the question. Every employee has to decide what to do. Many people just put up because my salary is important to me. I'd rather put up with the nonsense than the other alternatives are not good. Okay, fine, put up. But make sure you don't internalize. Find a way not to internalize. That's all we can say. And just take it this way and give it out. Something like that. We have to be creative,
Yeah.
Pariharya.
Tasmada pariharyate. And then, but the young people will internalize all this. Because not internalizing is difficult. Unless one is mature, they can't. They'll get carried away by all this and suffer in the process. They suffer. And then when they become bosses, they will make their employees suffer.
Yeah.
This is a cycle. Yeah. This is a cycle. It's on continuing.
There is a saying that daughter-in-law becomes mother-in-law in another 20 years.
Yeah. So, anywhere it applies. Daughter-in-law, son-in-law, it's all the same problem. And so you see some people in these families and all. You see people who take a stand, who are assertive, correct? Occasionally you see such people. They take a stand. They'll say, thus far, no further. I'll be happy to do what I have to do. I'm serving. I'll be happy to serve. But you can't walk over me. Correct? You can't walk over me just like that. Tell me what you want. I'll be happy to do what you want. I'm talking.
And we should be all ready also for the Vivikta Desha. That's my thinking now, is that, just leave that Sangha.
Yeah, so at this age and time when we are all studying Vedanta and all, we shouldn't be worried too much about Sangha and all. Sangha is to be made into a Sangha. Especially a Sangha of that nature is of no value. Sangha of that nature. And if that Sangha is a Vedanta Sangha.
Oh, then then this thing doesn't happen.
Exactly. That's right. then it's not a Vedanta. It's on name, on paper, it's Vedanta Sangha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
I just thought to see if there is any concrete answer, but okay. Okay. Thank you.
Right.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, Shanti, go ahead.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
And being with oneself, you told now just now we had an understanding about being with oneself. I've got a confusion between being with oneself means is it summa iru or we are doing so many japas, we are listening to pravachanam and all those stuff, and by the time the day is over, the day ends. So have we to sit idle to do the introspection, or how we react to situations that then comparatively, if there is some difference between before coming to Vedanta and after coming to Vedanta, if there is a difference, which means we are for the good, does it mean that we are internalizing the Vedantic study, Guruji?
Right. So Shanti is asking a question. Let's say I have 1 hour to myself. Okay. Now, what am I supposed to do in that 1 hour? Okay. Can I continue to do my japa and all I have? I can keep myself busy for an hour. Or summa, it means don't do anything, just be with yourself. What is meant by that? So what is meant by that is depending on our situation. Okay. Initially, before exposure to the Shastra, that 1 hour, half an hour is needed. For what? To just understand what's going on in my life. Just be with oneself. All the problems that are there, like all my relationships, are they all working fine? Am I playing the role properly if I'm a father or mother? Am I playing the role properly? Even to understand all this, we need a quiet time, correct? And so there the Vivikta Sevitvam is meant for my own chintane, my own thought process about my life. Because otherwise there's no time. There is no time to even think about how is my family. How can I improve my family circumstances? Besides just earning money and all that. Is everybody happy in the family? Did we ever ask that question? And who is not happy? Mother, father, husband, wife, children, everybody happy? Who is the most unhappy in the family? Why? Why should somebody be very unhappy in this family? Can we have a conversation? And before having a conversation, I have to think about it first myself, right? Because it's a scary thought to talk about people on these topics. It's not easy. People don't know how to deal with these questions. So, but at least I can deal with the question myself. Okay, Vivikta Desa Sevitvam. Only when I withdraw myself, I can think about these things. So, Krishna is highlighting it as a value. Then afterwards, then advanced and all that, and then Shastra Shravanam and all is there. Then definitely Vivikta Desa Sevitvam, and then Shravanam Kuru Tatra. Shravanam Kuru, right? Because what are you going to do with the 1 hour? I can do japa. Yeah, do the japa and all. Do japa and all that, but bring in Shravanam. Because japa is for what purpose if somebody asks you? You must be able to say what it is. If I can't answer that question, then I have to do more Shravanam. Okay. So it all depends on where we are. And all of us don't need that initial time to figure family, this and all. We've already sorted it all out. And so now the Vivikta Desham, the seclusion, being with oneself, is needed for Shravanam, primarily Shravanam, or Mananam, thinking through what has been studied, thinking through these values. Okay. Amanitvam, Adanvitvam, Ahimsa. Ahimsa, is there any area where I can improve? That only in the seclusion you can figure out. You can't have a discussion with others on these topics. Unless everybody has that same idea that you have. And if the same amount of seriousness they have, that you have, then okay, then joint discussion, okay. But for that also, all of you have to come together and withdraw all of yourself from wherever, what all our activity. So I'll stop there with that. It all depends on where we are. That's what I'm. Any follow-up question, Shanti? You're still thinking.
One more question.
Uh,
So why do we want to say the slokas and japas and all those stuff then? You asked me the question, if I ask you why are you doing the japa, I have personally no request to God. God's grace, He has kept me very well, my family, God's grace. So I have no special request to God to complete, please fulfill this, because now I have understood whatever we get is the result of our own karma which we have done. So nothing can change, but sometimes the mind gets anxious and it tells it forces me. See, this one during Puratasi, at least since we have learned so many slokas, I have taken a sankalpa to chant 108 times Vishnu Sahasranama. But already 10 days of Puratasi was gone because we were out of town. So now the mind, behind the mind, okay, after finishing this, now I have to go and chant Vishnu Sahasranamam. That is what is going behind my mind. But still, sometimes I ask, why should I be in this circle? Why I'm not able to come out of this bandham, probably. I don't know what to say, Guruji. Why? Since you asked the question, why do you want to do the japa? Now it makes me think, why? When I have nothing to ask from God, then why should I do that? That thing comes. But when I think, I understand it gives me moral support, psychological, no, my negativity goes away. That is what I feel when I do the prayers and all those.
right. So this is why understanding Purusharthas is important. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha is there. What is moksha? What is Bhagavad Gita? Why are we studying Bhagavad Gita? If we ask, then Bhagavad Gita is meant to be understood or not meant to be understood? This shloka is meant to be understood. Bhagavan is not simply saying just like that. Okay, war is going to happen now. So I will just calm you all down and chant a few mantras. No, that's not the purpose of Krishna's. Arjuna said, you have to teach me. I'm going to be your Shishya, he says. Means this is serious business here. Serious business going on here. Arjuna should have understood every word. And if he did not understand, he is asking questions again and again. Same question also sometimes. Every 3-4 chapters, same question is asking. So that shows Arjuna has heard, but thought he understood, but really didn't understand. So many things are happening. So all the chanting we have done is giving us the punyam to understand the Shastram. So why should I understand the Shastram? Hey, fourth Purushartha is there. It is called moksha. Jnanena mokshaha. Telisite mokshamo teliyakunna bandhamo. Okay. Means what? If you know it, you are free. If you don't know it, bandhamo. Bandha continues until I know. What should I know? To know what I should know also, I must study the Bhagavad Gita. And if I am chanting Vishnu Sahasranamam all day, I won't have time for Shravanam. I won't have time to understand what is there in the Vishnu Sahasranamam. Who is going to explain to you? Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaro. Shankaracharya writes a commentary on each word. Who is it meant for? Who is that commentary meant for? It's meant for us only. Vishwam. Why is Bhagavan called Vishwam? Viveshti iti Vishnuhu. Okay, all these things he talks about. So if I want is punyam, then we have to do what we are continuing to do. But if the punyam is meant for me to study the Shastram, then what is this? I'm not using my punyam. It's like earning a lot of money and not spending even 1 paisa. What is the use? What is the use? That is the thinking, Shanti.
One more question, Guruji. Sorry, I'm taking much of the time. You told Walkman, but literally when I go for my walking, I listen to the Swamiji, Paramarthananda Swamiji's talks only. So I follow Vedanta Sara only while going walking, because during that time not much traffic, nobody to interrupt. It is my me time. I listen, but many a time I've heard Guruji saying, Swamiji saying, you have to sit and listen. You should not, while walking or while cooking, you should not do. But certain things I'm not able to follow what Swamiji says, which is wrong also. But how to make up with the timings, Swamiji?
Yeah, so 2-3 points are there here. Vivek, there's a say with some going for a walk without Walkman. That is meant for people who are still new to these values, who have never really thought, oh, I should do this. Oh, I should think about my life more seriously. Like that, no, but the time has itself not come. Therefore, Vivek, the Desam is important. We went somewhere and some discussion was there about family and all that. And my family is just not okay at all. And so some discussion I had, and now I have some food for thought. Food for thought, how will I process it? I need to be by myself, only then I can process it. So for such people, being by oneself and doing some chintan. But having gone through all that, then what chintanam I can do? I need Shravanam. I need Shravanam. So for us, Vivikta Desha Sevitvam will get converted to Shravanam. Shravanam also you need Vivikta Desha Sevitvam for Shravanam, which is what you're doing. What you're doing, you want a secluded place, all this noise is there and horns are blaring everywhere. So I want to just walk away from it. So that is okay. That's okay. And so, that's why I say all these are depending on context, right? Depending on who you're talking to. And so that's what you should do. I think you're doing the right thing. And keep listening to Swamiji, Paramarthanandaji. In fact, everything I said is more than 70% is Paramarthanandaji's talks only. My notes are all, it's all coming. Sadayananda, Paramarthananda, it's all coming. It's all the same thing. And so, do that. That's the right thing to do. Yeah. Yeah, Premaji, go ahead.
Guruji, I think my thoughts are very much tied to Shanti's thoughts also, because I'm asking it in a different format, that's all. But there is the same whirlpool of what should I do going on. As we were talking about asakti, and we came to the part on ishta anishta, be samachittaha. Okay. And then when we came to bhakti, it says unflinching, undivided devotion, and it should not be sporadic. So when I'm listening to somebody who is very charismatic, it is possible to bring the enthusiasm and the filial loyalty to God, etc. But left to oneself, when you're in samsara, that continued conviction or something is missing and you wander off. So one is smarana, which is constant reminder. And but it's like the ebb and tide of the waves. Sometimes you're very strong and you keep very steady. Rest of the time you become inconsistent. Is it just the gunas, or is the absence of commitment, or not understanding what is being done? But you have that feeling that you have to do something, but you're not consistent with it because your belief in it is not complete. Is that what it is? Is that lack of shraddha?
Yeah, it can be a combination of all the things you've said. It can be a combination. And lack of shraddha can manifest as a lack of commitment, and sporadicity in all these things will come. Sporadic,
Like the consistency in Shanti, where she insists on doing what she's supposed to do, even if she doesn't understand it and comes back to it. Sometimes it seems lackadaisical. Yeah, ho jayega.
So that's why Shravanam, we constantly say Shravanam. That is why, if you carefully note, a lot of things we can do. Japa also we can do. But which japa I should do? Vishnu Sahasranam is better or Lalita Sahasranam is better? Huh? Vishnu is better. And somebody else doesn't know any of these things. They are doing some other japa. So all these questions will start coming, and the mind will start getting clouded with those kinds of questions. The Shravanam is of the Shastram is the only thing that will not allow me to ask questions and get carried away by these kinds of questions, which finally don't yield. They yield what they yield, but then I should not spend too much time thinking about these things. Do whatever japa you are doing, do. That's great. That's great. But listen, Shravanam Kuru, Shravanam Kuru. Because only Shravanam can reveal, can do what no japa can do, can reveal. Correct? Japa is there. Do japa, and that allows us, that gives us a solid, focusable mind, a mind that can focus on Shastra. We are very good at focusing on so many other things, but Shastra focus comes from that japa only. Parayanam. If you can do 108 times Vishnu Sahasranam, Parayanam, like Shanti does, that shows so much samadhanam is there, so much samadhi, buddhi is there, focus is there, unshakable focus is possible. I can commit myself to something like this. Means that person is completely transformed in the process. But then after that, samadhi is not the goal in life. Now I am able to focus on the Shastra. Okay, then listen to the Shastra. That is why, that is the phalam, that is the result of all the Parayanam that I have done. Parayanam is not an end in itself. Parayanam is a means to an end. I can't allow the means to take me over. Correct? I love train journey. I bought a ticket to some place. I like train journey. As kids and all, we used to love. We never used to like to get off from the train. Get off from the train and keep looking at the train. Oh, when will I go on the train next? The kids are different. And so just because I love to be in the train, I keep on going on the train. Buy tickets and keep going, keep on going, traveling by train. No, that's wrong. That's called confused mind. That is moham. So we have to understand that what is the goal, what is the purpose of all this. And so yeah, in time it all comes, Premaji, it comes. And that's why Shravanam we say. Shravanam, the beauty of Shravanam is you don't have to do anything. You just have to keep your ears open. And then things happen. Responsibility shifted on the teacher. Look at that. Shravanam, responsibility, now you're responsible. And then you just relax. Really, that's what happens. Krishna takes on the responsibility. All you have to do is understand what is. Belief, there can be problems, but understand it. You just have to understand. If you don't understand, ask me. That's all Krishna will say. So Shravanam is beautiful. Shravanam is something where you literally don't do anything, including japa. Don't say, I'm going to class and it's great time to do japa. We should not do that. Class is not the time to do japa. So I'm going on a walk, and then this thing is there, Paramarthanandaji this year, and then I'm doing japa and the other thing. No, that's not correct. Anyway, so Premaji.
Yes.
Is it all right?
Food for thought. No, there's still some residue of doubt,
Yes.
but I'll have to figure it out what it is.
Sure. Yeah, come back.
Thank
Come
you.
back.
Yeah.
So I think our announcement, we got some feedback from Swapna and others, and I think we can take that input and then we will convert it into a formal announcement with the dates. And you're okay with the date and all, no? I just put, I looked at my convenience also. When can I really come and talk, right? So I think I chose Sunday morning.
14. I thought you chose Amavasya, Mahalaya Amavasya.
All right.
It was the beginning of Navratri.
Okay.
It looked like it. 14th of 15th your time.
Yeah.
It was then.
Okay, 15th morning. Sunday morning, I have Bhagavad Gita Shankara Bhashyam class. So I was trying to balance my workload. And so that should work, I think. And we'll shortly, I'll send a note out.
I have to transfer it, like you said, send me an email. And I have to transfer it from WhatsApp to email. I sent messages to your WhatsApp,
Okay.
but I haven't sent it to your email. So maybe if you have time, you can look at it.
Okay, sure. We can do that. Yeah.
Jay
Thank
Kumar
you.
ji, Sunday morning I have Sanskritam class.
But this course is not for you, no? Rukmini. You are advanced. This is all for beginners. What is the difference between religion and spirituality? What is the goal of life?
Okay.
Can life be more fulfilling? I mean, these are all basics.
Okay. Again, the recordings will be available, no?
Yeah. So if our people attendees they want it to be recorded, then we can make it available.
Yeah.
Somebody already sent me a note that they won't be able to attend the first session, and I need the recording or something.
Yeah, it is better always to record and some beginners and some students of mine, Bhagavad Gita, who is learning, for them it will be useful.
Okay. So we've so I think it will be an interesting series of sessions because it's not based on any text. Normally we pick up a text and then we teach,
Yeah.
So we have some kind of a guidance from the text. But here it's going to be unguided. Audience is going to guide me. That is how it's going to be, I think. We'll have
It
this
will be a
also.
good introduction.
Premaji is taking a lot of risk because it seems a lot of her friends want to come. I don't know whether she's going to get some brickbats after all these things. And who are
No,
you?
it could be I'll get a chance to be separating very quickly if they go away. No, but Swapna just wrote something very funny. She said, is this class going to be for the disillusioned? So we have to clarify that first.
Disillusioned. She mentions disillusioned.
I was thinking duration of this. How long will this course last?
Yes.
Already I said audience initiated series of dialogues. How long this course lasts? As long as they ask questions, it will last. Which means once. As long as you are disillusioned, it will last.
So she just asked again, Guruji. She just asked that again now. She asked while we were talking, is this class only for the disillusioned? Maybe you should say something about it.
See, the way I look at it is, I want a lot of you to start conducting sessions. Basics at least. Start teaching. Pick up something and start talking. And so, if you feel that you can get something out of the sessions, then you start having your own class in your own community. Start your own Zoom class. If you want a Zoom license, let me know. We'll try to find something. So that's what I'm looking, that also can be possible. So don't think that, all of you, many of you have been attending for a long time. And so you can begin to have some sessions for children, adults, young adults. All these things are there. And if you want me to start off the class or something, you let me know. Periodically, I can come and talk to those people. But then you become a coach, you become a teacher, right? So Swamiji used to say, fake it to make it. Means we have to act as though you're a teacher, right? Only then we'll become a teacher. I had to fake it. First class, what do you do? My God, I'm teaching. My God, I'm teaching. Today, I don't have any such fears today. But it was there. Initially, all that thing is there. Tattva Bodha, how am I going to teach this? I'm teaching it? Really? I thought I was a student. Yeah, but every student should become a teacher. So, I have these thoughts will go on, But the love for the subject will make things happen, right? Yeah.
So this course, we go through the registration process?
Yeah. So correct. We have to go through
And
the
when is
same.
it scheduled to start? In 1 week's time, is it?
When is it, Premaji, do you remember?
We said the 14th of October, our
Yeah.
time. So it's
So
15th of October.
15th morning India time.
Okay, Guruji. We'll get it.
We have just about the right time, I think, no?
Yeah, we'll roll it out, yeah.
Yeah. So, is there anything special we have to do in terms of attracting the right audience for it or something?
Yeah, we'll have to put up a poster, circulate. I think you sent me an email, no, giving the details of the program.
Yes. Everybody.
I'll pick it up from there. I'll come back to I'll have a look at it and come back to you, Guruji.
Yeah, I mean, are there any groups that we don't reach out to that we can reach out to? That's the question I had in mind. Because this is a very different, it's not a text, it's not a. So maybe Vedanta groups, other groups, because it should be hard to find disillusioned people, I'm guessing. But the disillusioned people should say, I am disillusioned. Yes, I am looking for something like this. That's a problem.
Our Facebook is getting a lot of traction, so a lot of posts are going on there.
Okay. Good. Vaidya, go ahead.
Jagmohanji, I saw the statement that the Arshavidya Sampradaya has issued. Thank you for coordinating that and getting that out. I just want to ask you if some media has picked it up and has it been,
I have personally forwarded to a few people, but in fact, yesterday I was talking to one Swamiji in Rishikesh, and he said he'll talk to some people and all. So no, I've not heard of any media picking it up.
Yeah.
And I myself have not done much in this front. And what this Arshavidya has done is, they have made 4 people as spokespersons for this.
very
Swami
good.
Brahmavidanandaji, Swami Satyavratanandaji, Uday Acharya, and myself.
Very good.
And so, I have
What
to.
is it about?
Huh?
What is it about?
What is it about? Yeah. So, see, there are things going on in our society where some politicians or somebody might make some anti-Hindu statements and very egregious statements sometimes. For example, our state government is very good at harassing pandits in temples, bulldozing temples, saying things like Sanatana Dharma should be eradicated from the face of earth. They make all these statements. So it's all this won't happen anywhere else in the world. It happens here where I'm sitting. It happens. Okay, and so the question is, what should these the sannyasis do? How should they respond? And so that was the whole discussion. And so now a statement has been issued out. Very small statement. it into in fact, I put some address at the bottom of the page. I edited the PDF and sent it back to Swamiji. So at least I wanted it to look like it's on a letterhead. And so now the sannyasis are saying, it's time for us to speak up. And so they have nominated some people to field any questions that may come from anybody, from journalists or media or some YouTubers and things like that. We don't know. And so I have to do some preparation, like things like what exactly, what law of the Constitution was violated? Freedom of religion is enshrined in what article? I need to know all that. Some things I want in my fingertips, Article 25 or something like that. So if any of you know some people who can help me with that, some basics, you let me know, put me in touch, because I really need it. I don't want to simply say freedom of religion. I want to say Article 25 enshrines the freedom of religion, and I want to make a point there. So yeah, so feel free to forward this to people who have a social media reach and things like that, and they should pick it up. And so yeah, that's the background, Anuradha.
Yeah, Jagmoorji, I'll try to find a few things and send to you.
Yeah.
About, one is freedom of religion enshrined in the Constitution. Second is even the UN Charter. There are some things, which refer to genocide. If you say that you want to eradicate a religion, how do you do that? You do that by eradicating the people who follow the religion, right? It's just like, how do you protect dharma? You protect dharma by protecting the dharmis, right? Swamiji used to say that all the time. Same way, this is what the fellows want to do. They want to eradicate Hindus. And so that is genocide. So I think UN Charter has certain things, which define what genocide is. They're calling for genocide.
Excellent point.
Same thing in Canada. Some of these radical Khalistanis are calling for Hindus to go back to India. And the Canadian government has been pathetic in this regard, the Liberal government of Canada. And fortunately, the Conservatives have spoken, for Hindus. And some Liberal members who are Hindus have also spoken, like Chandra Arya, who is a Liberal member.
Right.
And is a Hindu, Canadian Hindu. So yeah, so it's a very difficult time for Hindus worldwide. And when I read some of the articles in the US press, which completely distort the situation, they're painting these Khalistani terrorists as everyday people. It's very hard to read some of these reports.
Yeah.
So maybe that can be a topic of satsang afterwards, how we should respond in a dharmic manner.
Sure. Yeah, if you can write some points right there, and we can definitely discuss in the next satsang.
Right, I will do that.
Those data points will be useful for me.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll pause here. Thank you all. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalachahasraya Sarvamaya Kasanaya Trilokyanathaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.